Alassane Ouattara and Rodrigo Rato, when the IMF becomes a refuge for major tax thugs. For those who are impressed by Alassane Ouattara's career within the International Monetary Fund, IMF, it is time to open their eyes to the true nature of this institution. Being a former deputy managing director of the IMF does not provide any guarantee of probity or integrity. In reality, the recent history of the IMF is marked by scandals and economic crimes committed by some of its highest officials, starting with Rodrigo Rato, former managing director. Rodrigo Rato, one example among others. Rodrigo de Rato y Figueiredo, born March 18, 1949 in Madrid, is a Spanish businessman and politician, member of the Popular Party. He was notably Minister of Economy under the government of José María Aznar between 1996 and 2004, and Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, between 2004 and 2007. Rodrigo Rato was sentenced to 4 years in prison for tax offenses and corruption. The Spanish justice system also fined this statesman more than €2 million, revealing a complex network of fraud linked to his assets. This conviction sheds light on the behavior of economic elites who, despite being invested with the most prestigious responsibilities, will stop at nothing to serve their own interests. Alassane Ouattara, a questioning path. In light of these facts, it becomes legitimate to question the glorification of Alassane Ouattara's career. Often presented as a genius technocrat, his time at the IMF is praised as a guarantee of excellence, as was the case recently during the last press conference after the Council of Ministers, where the government spokesperson tried to associate his professional career at the IMF with his supposed incorruptibility. But what is really behind this CV? Indeed, behind the image of the Deputy General Manager of the IMF, is a man whose economic practices in Côte d'Ivoire are marked by financial scandals and shameless nepotism. The colossal budgets that he allocates to his sovereignty funds, 342.6 billion CFA francs in 2011, an increase of 1,370% compared to his predecessors, demonstrate an insatiable appetite for controlling public finances to the detriment of Ivorians. This behavior is strangely similar to Rodrigo Rato, who did not hesitate to embezzle funds to enrich his personal wealth. Mr. Biwu, in the same lineage. For those who would like to praise the careers of other former international finance executives, such as Mr. Biwu, it is essential to question their true heritage. If we follow the logic of the facts, these personalities seem to be part of a long tradition of men who, under the cover of economic expertise, use their power to serve private interests. A discredited institution. The IMF, far from being an institution of moral elite, increasingly appears as a den for predatory economic elites. From Rodrigo Rato to Alassane Ouattara, examples abound to demonstrate that the management of global finance is often entrusted to individuals, whose priorities are neither transparency nor fairness. For many, they are vultures and embezzlers of public funds. The lesson for Ivorians. Ivorians must detach themselves from the artificial aura surrounding Alassane Ouattara's past at the IMF. Having been a senior official of this institution is not a guarantee of ethical leadership, but can rather reveal tendencies towards corruption and economic manipulation. Like Rodrigo Rato, Alassane Ouattara must be scrutinized for his actions and their consequences on the populations, and not for his international CV. The IMF, by sheltering some of the biggest tax thugs in contemporary history, shows that economic competence is nothing without ethics. Ivorians, like citizens around the world, must understand that a leader's prestigious past does not guarantee his integrity. Rodrigo Rato has been unmasked. Alassane Ouattara, for his part, is still the subject of an illusion that it is time to dispel.
Yo! Wangalo, contre vents et marées, face aux dangers et aux périls. Ils foncent pour le combat, sans peur ils galopent pour dévoiler ce qui est caché. Là où règne le mensonge, et il impose la vérité. Les hiboux de Yapi chasseront le vieux grigou. Yapi ne ment pas. Yapi ne ment pas. Ouais. Contre vents et marées, face aux dangers et aux périls, il fonce pour le combat sans peur, il galope pour dévoiler ce qui est caché. Là où règne le mensonge, et il impose la vérité. Les hiboux de Yapi chasseront le vieux grigou. Yapi ne ment pas. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow, wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow, wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Ne ment pas, Yapi ne ment pas. Oh, oh. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow, wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow, wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow. Yapi ne ment pas. Yapi ne ment pas. Wow. Yapi.
Yapi does not lie. Find Yapi on his 2 YouTube channels, his Rumble channel, his TikTok, X, Instagram, VK and Threads accounts.